Hello everyone, I'm back again. And for those who don't know me, I'm Latrice Jones McLean. And this morning I want to talk to you about sowing and reaping. This is something that I talk to my children about often. And so there are some things, whether not intentional or not, I would say that happen with hurting other people, not intentional, but me not dealing with things of my past, or me being unyielding to accept help to move on. And so as a result, um, I have hurt others. And so, in this particular season, I just felt like it was a season of, it was part of the sowing and reaping part. And so for me, because of the bad seeds that I sown in these last couple of years, it was a season of sowing and reaping. And I tell my kids, I say, although it wasn't intentional, or there were some things that were done or said or that was not good seeds. So I'm like, well, in this season right now, I'm reaping what I sowed, and those seeds were not good seeds. And so I had to deal with the consequences of them. I had to work through a relationship that might look through them forgiving me, or having the time over a couple years to see that I was diligent and being genuine. And so, I'm now arriving to the point of, arriving to the season of sowing my good seeds. So I was like, kids, I'm come to the point of, now, all the bad seeds have been done, because God still holds us accountable. Sometimes we might be paying for the sins of our parents, or we might be paying for our own stubbornness, the own stuff in our own lives. And so I was just telling my kids, I'm to the season now that the sowing of the seeds, and me making amends, me doing the work to make amends, now is allowing me to arrive at the season of now sowing good seeds, to eventually be able to reap from the seeds that I'm sowing that are good. And that's one of the things I always tell my kids. Like, even if they want to react to certain people a certain way, I tell them, even if they feel like they've been justified, if there were offenses done and they want to be disrespectful, I tell them, no, we're not going to do that, because then you will be sowing seeds. And I tell them, I'm not going to, no, we're not going to do that, because that is something you would have to reap from. And so it has been successful in explaining those things in those ways. And what I want to also talk to you about is, the Bible says that when we sin, the parents will still be held accountable, but then their children still can be held accountable up to the third and fourth generation. Well, I challenge you to be that bridge, that even if there's things in our background that you may see passed down on from one generation to another one, maybe it's in your family that you see a whole bunch of cheaters. In your family, you may even see a whole bunch of liars. Like, you can see in your own individual family, you may see certain curses. But at the same time, for those who made the changes that they need to, you may even see blessings, where now you might see prosperity, meaning where you may have struggled with almost being in poverty, that now God has blessed your hands in being able to get jobs that you want and to support your family. But regardless, I challenge you to be the bridge. What I'm really working on is me breaking generational curses. And even though my kids are already here, and I could have done some of the work prior to them being born, but they're here now. And so I as I work on myself, I always tell my kids, I'm bringing you to Why? I know you got maybe be stubborn like your mama, or whatever it is that they could have picked up some things from me. Why I fix it, I always tell them, you have the opportunity to come along with me, where you can fix it, at the same time as I am. And if not, I'm still gonna go on. But one of the biggest things, us sometimes as parents, we always tell them to do what we say, and not what we may showing, because we may struggle in our own life to still get free of certain things. But as you get free, the biggest example, or the biggest way to help your kids is actually changing yourself, so now they can visually see someone breaking free of things. So even if it takes them a little bit longer to get free of a thing, you're now modeling what it looks like to be free. And so the laws of God, the promises of God, those are principles in the Bible, and they're alive and active. And so sowing is and reaping is a real thing. And so I encourage you to get in there and get in your life and start working on yourself to change the trajectory of your family, and of your children and your children's children, because what you do matter. I already says it can go up to the third and fourth generation. So I encourage you to be that bridge for your family, to start breaking off things that have been passed on, and then to start something anew. All right, thank you. And for some of y'all, have a good night. For some of y'all, have a good morning. God bless.